Let me start by busting one of the biggest myths you've probably been fed your entire life. Women don't fall in love the way men think they do. Forget all the romantic movies, cheesy love songs, and those endless just be yourself advice columns. The truth is far more uncomfortable and a lot more practical. If you want to truly understand how women fall in love, you need to throw out everything you think you know and open your mind to some hard facts. Here's the cold, controversial truth. Women don't fall in love because you're nice or because you tell them how much you care. They don't fall in love because you're always available or because you give them constant attention. In fact, these things often do the exact opposite. They kill attraction. Women fall in love based on an entirely different set of rules than men do. It's not about endless compliments or grand romantic gestures. It's about psychology, emotions, and subtle signals. Things that most men completely miss. And that's why so many guys get stuck in the friend zone or end up confused when a woman suddenly pulls away after showing interest. If you want her to truly fall for you, you need to learn how to activate the right feelings inside her. Feelings she might not even understand herself. It's not magic. It's biology and psychology wrapped into one. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how women fall in love. We'll cover what triggers those deep emotional connections, what drives attraction beyond looks or money, and how you can use these insights to become irresistible without playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. Get ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about love, attraction, and relationships, because this is the real deal. And once you understand these principles, you'll never look at women or love the same way again. 1. Women don't fall for nice guys. Here's the harsh truth most men don't want to hear. Being nice won't make her fall in love. Society has sold you the idea that if you're kind, respectful, and always available, she'll automatically want you. That's a lie. Nice guys often end up invisible or stuck in the friend zone because kindness alone doesn't create attraction. Women are wired to seek more than just kindness. They want excitement, challenge, and emotional intensity. Nice guys tend to be predictable and safe, which is the exact opposite of what sparks passion. Being nice feels comfortable, but comfort doesn't lead to love or desire. Attraction needs tension, a little push and pull. If you're always bending over backward to please her, you lose that tension. You become boring. Here's what actually happens. When you act too nice, she assumes you're weak or desperate. That lowers your value in her eyes. Women are naturally drawn to men who show confidence and self-respect, even if it means occasionally saying no or standing their ground. Nice guys who don't do this come off as too easy, and women want a challenge, something that makes their heart race, not relax. 1. Example. Imagine a guy named Mike who always agrees with everything Sarah says. He cancels plans with his friends to spend more time with her and never disagrees or challenges her opinions. At first, Sarah appreciates his kindness, but soon she starts losing interest because there's no spark or excitement. Mike is nice, but he's also predictable and boring. Contrast this with Jake, who has his own opinions, keeps a busy social life, and isn't afraid to say no sometimes. Sarah finds Jake more attractive because he feels like a challenge. He's not just a backup plan. If you want her to fall in love, focus on being a man with standards, boundaries, and a life outside of her. Don't just be nice. Be respectfully confident. That's what truly turns her on. 2. Emotional drama sparks love. If you think love is all about calm conversations and peaceful moments, think again. One of the most controversial truths is that women often fall in love through emotional drama, not stability. Sounds crazy? It's true. Emotional highs and lows trigger powerful feelings that create deep attachments. Women's brains respond strongly to emotional intensity. When there's drama, arguments, misunderstandings, or unpredictable behavior, it creates a roller coaster of feelings. This emotional roller coaster releases chemicals in her brain like adrenaline and dopamine, which mimic the feelings of excitement and passion. That's why relationships that start with drama often feel more intense and addictive. On the other hand, a relationship that is too predictable and peaceful can feel boring and dull. Without emotional ups and downs, her brain doesn't get the signal that something exciting is happening. That's why calm, nice relationships sometimes fail to create real love, because there's no spark, no fire, no emotional charge. But here's the catch. Emotional drama isn't about constant fighting or being toxic. It's about creating tension and keeping things interesting without crossing the line into disrespect or abuse. A little unpredictability and passion keep her emotionally hooked. 2. Example. Think about Lisa, who dated Tom, a guy who was always steady and never argued. Their relationship was peaceful, but boring. Lisa never felt that rush of excitement or deep emotional connection. Then she met Alex, who wasn't perfect. Sometimes he was distant, other times passionate and unpredictable. Their relationship had ups and downs, but Lisa felt alive around Alex. The emotional intensity kept her thinking about him constantly. If you want a woman to fall in love, don't be a boring safe harbor. Be the man who brings passion, challenge, and emotional excitement. Women don't fall in love with comfort. They fall in love with feelings. 3. Confidence beats looks. Every time. Let's clear something up right now. Being good looking is not the most important thing to make a woman fall in love with you. This is a game changer for a lot of men who think their looks are the only way to win her heart. Truth is, confidence beats looks every single time, and women know it deep down. Think about it. You've probably seen average-looking guys with amazing women. Why? Because confidence signals something far more powerful than just a pretty face. It shows that you value yourself, that you're secure, and that you're someone who can handle life's challenges. Women are wired to be attracted to men who carry themselves with assurance. When a man is confident, he moves differently, talks differently, and even smells differently, metaphorically speaking. His energy changes. He doesn't second-guess himself or constantly seek approval. That kind of energy makes a woman feel safe and excited at the same time. Compare that to a guy who looks great, but is insecure and needy. No matter how sharp his features are, his lack of confidence kills attraction fast. Women don't want to be a project or someone to fix. They want a man who stands tall, who leads, and who owns his worth. Confidence also means you're comfortable with rejection. You don't crumble when she says no or ignores your text. Instead, you keep your dignity and keep moving. This makes you mysterious and desirable. The less you chase, the more she wants to chase you. This doesn't mean you have to be loud or cocky. Confidence is quiet power. It's knowing who you are and not being afraid to show it. It's about setting boundaries and sticking to them. It's being okay with being alone and not settling for less than you deserve. If you're worried about your looks, don't waste energy stressing over things you can't fully control. Focus on building confidence. Work on your skills, your passions, your mindset. That's what will make her fall in love. Because at the end of the day, looks fade. Confidence lasts. And that's what creates real, lasting attraction. 4. Women chase what they can't have. Here's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of guys. If you're always available and always chasing, she's not going to fall in love with you. In fact, you're doing the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Women naturally chase what feels just out of reach. What's exciting, rare, and unpredictable. If you hand yourself to her on a silver platter, you become boring, and she loses interest fast. Many men make the mistake of thinking love is about winning a woman's approval by being there 24/7, agreeing with everything, and never putting their foot down. That's not attraction, that's desperation. And women can smell desperation from a mile away. When you're desperate, you lower your value in her eyes. Wake up. Being too easy makes you invisible. Women want a challenge. They want to feel like they're chasing something valuable. If you give her all your attention and time immediately, you remove the thrill of the hunt. You become just another option instead of the prize. This doesn't mean playing childish games or being cruel. It means respecting yourself enough to have boundaries, a life outside of her, and the confidence to let her wonder if she's really going to keep you. When you're not always there, She starts to question her feelings. She wonders what she might lose. And that's when real attraction kicks in. So stop chasing like a lost puppy. Stop flooding her with texts, calls, or proof of your interest. Instead, focus on your goals, hobbies, and friends. Be busy, be unpredictable. When you pull back, you create space for her to miss you, to think about you, and to actually want you. The truth is, men who act desperate are doing the hardest work for the weakest results. If you want to win her heart, you have to work smarter, not harder. Be the man she has to chase, not the man who's chasing her. It's time to wake up and change your approach, because when you're the prize, she will come running. 5. Why ignoring her makes her interested. This one messes with a lot of guys' heads, but ignoring a woman can actually make her more interested in you. Before you get upset, hear me out. Ignoring doesn't mean being rude or disrespectful. It means not chasing her, not giving her constant attention, and not reacting instantly every time she reaches out. Most men think the key to winning a woman is always being available, replying fast, and showing they care through non-stop messages. But here's the truth. When you ignore her, or at least pull back, you create space. And space creates curiosity. When she doesn't have your attention on demand, she starts wondering what you're up to. She starts missing you. Ignoring isn't about playing games to manipulate. It's about valuing yourself and your time enough to not be at her beck and call. It sends a powerful message. I have my own life. I'm not desperate for your approval. That's magnetic. Women are wired to notice what they can't immediately control or have. If you're always there, you become predictable and boring. But when you're distant, she starts chasing your energy. That's when attraction builds. This also flips the usual script, where men chase women endlessly and get nothing in return. By ignoring her just a little, you flip the power balance. Suddenly, she has to put in effort to get your attention. And guess what? Effort creates value. But beware. This isn't about ghosting her or being disrespectful. It's about strategic distance. Reply, but don't over-reply. Engage, but don't over-engage. Show interest, but don't beg for it. Let her wonder if you're going to reply or what you're doing. Keep some mystery alive. If you're tired of being ignored, overlooked, or stuck in the friend zone, try this. Stop being her emotional support 24/7. Step back, live your life, and watch how she starts chasing you instead. Ignoring her, when done right, doesn't push her away. It pulls her in closer. 6. Vulnerability kills. Attraction. Here's a truth most guys get totally wrong. Being vulnerable early on doesn't make a woman fall in love. It often does the opposite. In fact, showing your deepest feelings too soon can kill attraction fast. I know it sounds harsh, but hear me out. Men think that if they open up and share their emotions, they'll create intimacy and connection. While honesty is important, there's a time and place for vulnerability. And it's not at the start, when you're still building attraction. When you lay your heart out too early, it signals neediness and insecurity. And women don't find that attractive. Women want a man who appears strong and in control, someone who can handle life's challenges without crumbling. Vulnerability too soon shows weakness, and weakness doesn't inspire desire. It triggers a protective or even dismissive response. That doesn't mean you should bottle up your feelings forever or pretend to be emotionless. It means you need to build your foundation of attraction first: confidence, mystery, and emotional control. Once she's emotionally hooked, then vulnerability has its place. But if you rush it, you risk scaring her away. Most men make the mistake of rushing to talk about their problems, insecurities, or deep feelings as a way to connect. Instead, it pushes her away because she feels the emotional weight is too much too soon. Attraction needs lightness and excitement first. Heavy emotional talks belong later in a committed relationship. If you want a woman to fall in love, focus on being emotionally stable and strong early on. Show her you're a man who can handle himself, not a man who needs saving. When you demonstrate strength and confidence, she'll want to open up to you, not the other way around. So, Hold back your vulnerability a little. Be the man who leads with strength and mystery, not neediness and oversharing. That's the real secret to keeping her interested. 7. Respect her space, gain her heart. One thing many men miss completely is this simple truth. Giving a woman space doesn't push her away, it pulls her closer. Yet most guys make the opposite mistake. They cling, they hover, they flood her with attention. And that just smothers attraction. Women need room to breathe. They need time to think, feel, and process their emotions. When you respect her space, you show her you're not needy or desperate. You show you have your own life, your own priorities, and you're not hanging on her every word. That's incredibly attractive. Think about it. When someone is always available, they lose value. But when you give her space, she starts to realize what she's missing. She begins to think about you more because you're not always there to entertain her. Respecting her space is not about ignoring her or playing games. It's about balance. You're showing her that you respect her independence and aren't trying to control her every move. That level of respect builds trust and emotional safety, two key ingredients for love. Most men, however, confuse jealousy or possessiveness with love. They think that by being overly involved or always present, they're showing they care. But that only creates pressure and makes her want to run. Women don't want a man who suffocates. They want one who respects boundaries. If you're always texting her, calling her, or asking where she is, it screams insecurity. Instead, give her the freedom to miss you. Let her come to you. This forces her to invest emotionally, which naturally builds deeper feelings. Respecting space also means not rushing the relationship. Don't push for too much too soon. Let things develop naturally. When you're patient, you build anticipation. And anticipation is a powerful love builder. Bottom line, if you want her heart, give her the space to feel free, miss you, and choose you. Stop smothering. Start respecting. That's how real love grows. 8. Challenge sparks. Desire. Here's a simple fact that many guys don't want to admit. Women don't fall in love with men who make everything easy for them. In fact, too much comfort kills attraction. Challenge is what sparks desire. When you always agree, always say yes, and never push back, you become predictable and boring. Women crave a man who challenges them mentally and emotionally. Someone who makes them think, who makes them work a little for their attention and affection. Challenge isn't about being mean or playing cruel games. It's about standing your ground, having opinions, and not bending to every whim. It's about being the man who has standards and doesn't settle for less. When you challenge her, you show strength and confidence, two things that ignite attraction. You also create emotional tension, and that tension is what keeps the spark alive. Without it, relationships turn dull fast. Many men avoid challenge because they fear rejection or conflict. But in reality, being too agreeable pushes women away. They want a man who isn't afraid to disagree, who can debate, tease, or even challenge their ideas respectfully. So, don't be the yes man. Challenge her in ways that make her think and keep her emotionally engaged. This will make her want you more, not less. 9. Be unpredictable, stay irresistible. Predictability is the enemy of attraction. When a man becomes too routine, too safe, women lose interest. Being unpredictable keeps her guessing, keeps her excited, and keeps her coming back for more. Unpredictability doesn't mean being unreliable or flaky. It means mixing things up. Surprise her with new experiences, new topics of conversation, or new sides of yourself she hasn't seen before. When you're unpredictable, you break the monotony and boredom that kills attraction. You create mystery, and mystery is a powerful pull in any relationship. Women love a man who keeps them on their toes because it shows he's confident enough to be himself, not a predictable, boring version of what she expects. This unpredictability makes her curious. She wonders what you'll do next. Will you text her tonight? Will you show up with a surprise? Will you have a new story to tell? If you want to stay irresistible, Don't become the guy who's always the same. Change your pace, change your energy, and keep her emotionally hooked. 10. Confidence is the ultimate magnet. If you want to know how women really fall in love, here's the bottom line. Nothing beats confidence. Confidence is the ultimate magnet that pulls women in and keeps them hooked. It's not about money, looks, or fancy words. It's about how you carry yourself and believe in your own value. Women don't fall for guys who doubt themselves, apologize too much, or constantly seek approval. They're drawn to men who stand tall, speak clearly, and act like they own their space in the world. That's confidence, and it's irresistible. Confidence means being comfortable in your own skin. It means not needing her validation to feel good about yourself. When you're confident, you're not afraid to show who you are, flaws and all. That authenticity makes you human and relatable, but more importantly, it shows strength. Many men confuse arrogance with confidence. Arrogance is fake and needy underneath. Confidence is quiet, calm, and steady. Women pick up on the difference immediately. If you struggle with confidence, here's the truth. You have to build it from the inside out. Stop waiting for her to like you before you feel good about yourself. Start focusing on your goals, passions, and purpose. When you're busy building your life, you naturally become more attractive. Confidence also means taking risks, asking her out, expressing your interest without hesitation, and not fearing rejection. Rejection is part of the process, and confident men use it as fuel, not a setback. Remember, women want a man who feels like a rock, someone steady who they can rely on emotionally. When you're confident, you create a sense of safety and excitement at the same time. That combo is pure attraction gold. So, stop doubting yourself and start acting like the man you want to be. Walk into every room like you belong there. Speak with conviction. Make decisions without hesitation. Because when you're confident, women don't just fall in love with you. They want to keep you in their lives forever. Here's the harsh truth nobody wants to say out loud. Women don't fall in love with nice guys who try too hard to please them. They fall for men who hold power, mystery, and confidence, and who know exactly how to make them chase. If you're playing the good guy role, you're already losing the game before it even starts. But here's the deal. I'm not here just to tell you what's harsh. I'm here to help you change that. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below about your experiences with love and attraction. What worked, what didn't, where you struggled. I'll read every single one and personally reach out to those who need real advice. This channel isn't just about theories, it's about real results and real connection. So don't be shy. Talk to me, let's break these myths together and build the kind of love life you deserve. Remember, love isn't about begging, it's about being the prize.